Oh, hello, we're live. Hi, hello to everyone watching it recorded, watching it later. Send me some lottery numbers, and of course, all the people around the world who are watching it brand new live on YouTube, Facebook, all the ships at sea while doing the same thing. Hello. Let me get the picture about right. That's about right. Booze. He's got his head in the view, and you can actually see the fans going into my workroom from there, right behind Bones, Dr. Slim, and Eartha Cat, which are right here. Here's the fans. That's my workroom. Anyway, we'll start the show in just a minute. JD Hill is our guest tonight. We'll be letting him talk a bit about his network and what he does coming up in just a few minutes. But let's go ahead and talk about some friends we have down in New Orleans that do tours. New Orleans Paranormal Society, Voices from Beyond. That's scary enough. Let me tell you what these people don't do. They don't show you a building and say, this is haunted. Follow me on to the next building. Walk with me. No, they take you in the building. They sit you down for an hour or so. They hand you a piece of paranormal equipment, and you call forth one of the many spirits down in New Orleans, and that's their tour. It's run by ghost hunters with over 700 ghost hunts under their belts. Here is their address and all their contacts. This is a good time to go down there. You don't have that many people, and you're liable to be sitting there with them and you and a couple other folks on their tours right now. Now is a good time to take a tour of New Orleans. Of course, there will be two other people involved in New Orleans if you decide to wait to the 31st to go down there. If you can flip up the New Orleans Paracana bust, yes, that's me. That's the wife. That's our statement, because we are going down to New Orleans or bust. We are got a reservations. It is a 4-star hotel where everybody's going to be staying in. And we are going to make it, or we're going to bust. Considering we've already got the rent-a-car reserved, we've already got the rooms reserved, we are set to go. We are actually going to New Orleans via Pittsburgh. So I will be doing a couple of shows, at least some commercials, from Pittsburgh, Mississippi on the way down. We're going to stop there about halfway down New Orleans from here in Pittsburgh, and then we're going to be in New Orleans for Monday night before the Paracon starts on Friday night. Let's go ahead and roll that Paracon footage. There you go. There's a picture of all the guests. There we are. Our very own Latriana Terry Brown will be there. Our good friend John Zappis will be there. Ron, I'm not even going to try his name, and Lourdes Gonzalez will be there. They all will be doing ghost hunts. That's one thing that is readily available. You want to do a ghost hunt with Latriana? Available. You want to do a ghost hunt with Ron and Lourdes? Available. John, even if you want to ghost hunt with John Zappis, that is available. You got the package deal that you will have the ghost hunts. This is 2 ghost hunts, as this sign says. It will be unforgettable. Can you imagine doing ghost hunts with this group of people shown here? You also see the Voodoo House ghost hunt, and of all places, the Andrew Jackson Hotel. Personal experience here. I have investigated both places multiple occasions. Both are haunted. The spirits will talk to you there. And before we go to the video, put Echo Box up here. The Echo Box photo. This is what I use. Some people don't like Echo Box, but people who've used it for a while and know how to use it definitely get responses using it. I will be showing how to use Echo Box in the hotel during the Paracon. We're going to be set up right outside where you buy your ticket to get in. I'll be sitting there right next to Christopher and Jennifer Talley at their home table. I'll be sitting right there. I will be interviewing guests. I will be interviewing other people who are appearing, other people who appear on the All Access Network TV network or network TV. Got that backwards. Anyway, I will be having quite a few people there talking about what they're going to be doing during the Paracon. You want to be there at the opening. You want to be standing at that door before they open the door. Why should you be standing there waiting at the door for the Paracon to start Saturday morning? Well, you want to be there because the voodoo experience is going to be there, and they will be opening the door for you after they perform a ceremony outside the convention room. You do not want to miss this. I go ahead and roll the new paranormal video, please, sir. A little bit of jazz coming up. Put you in the mood. Platinum package, they are still available. $1,500 for 2 people. You get everything. The FP package, $1,000 for 2 people. You don't quite get everything, but you get quite a bit. Look on their website, RoaringSparacon.com. This package, the 2 people is still available. You can get that also. $448 for 2 people. And a weekend with Pedro Negri is $500 per person, not for 2. But if you get Sam Badukas and you get Father Sebastian. The RIP package, I'm sorry to say, with Father Sebastian is sold out. That's sold out in about 3 days. That's on all 3. So I would advise getting your tickets in advance if you want to sign up for these packages. All the ghost hunts are still available. Haunting Travel says they will be vending there. So while you're taking a look at Father Sebastian, you can go over there to the booth and talk to Haunting Travel. John Zappis will be there, and you'll be able to go hunt John Zappis. How many chances do you have back to ghost hunt for John Zappis? Will Devin will be there. As a Father Robert L. Bailey. Ron and Lords will be in the TV museum. Your friends at Fort Verna will also be there. There's our very own, let's see, Terry Brown will be there. Can you imagine ghost hunting with her? Randy Cooper, the co-host, Jennifer Talley on her show. James Stokes. If you're into horror, he's your guy. You will be there. Also, Native American panel. And there is Christopher and Jennifer. There's your host. Some of the local people here. Voodoo Authentica, they will be the ones actually starting the Paracon. They will be performing the voodoo ceremony right outside the door, just before doors open. And yes, I will be podcasting this voodoo ceremony live right here on All Access Network TV. So I'll be busy. I'll be sitting right there watching it open up. And when they start, we'll be on live so you can see it. Of course, it's better if you're actually there. Haunting Travels says whoop whoop. They will be there. They will be inside at their booth waiting for you to come in there and talk with them, and you can see what they have to say. Haunting Travels is interesting people to talk to anyway. I'm actually going to talk to them about appearing on the show between now and the Paracon. I may ask them to appear that week. I don't know. I'm going to get the Thursday before the Paracon. I will be doing a show in the hotel because I'll obviously be there on Thursday. Actually, be there Monday night. So Haunting Travels can, whenever they get there, we can actually talk with them, and they may be a guest on the show between now and then. If they want to talk about it, I'll be glad to talk with them. Just come and see us. It will be a blast. That is an understatement. This will be a tremendous amount of fun. But right now, instead of talking Paracon, I think it's time to open the door on this show and let JD Hill come on in here. All right. Hey, I'm here. I'm back. Right now, we're going to bring out our guest and we say a few words about JD Hill first. I've heard he's a great guy. We've never really met. We know each other on the internet, of course. But I'll tell you a little bit about him. JD Hill is the founder and creator of Studio 6 Media, podcaster with 4 different shows, such as Paranormal, Spiritual, and Music. He is a paranormal investigator as well as a psychic medium. Currently is focused on making documentaries about unknown historical locations and people. Jay has been working hard on raising funding for his documentary, Shadows Behind History. That sounds creepy. If you're into the paranormal, you're into history. I'm a firm believer in that because it's hard to have one without the other. He believes there are so many stories just waiting to be told, and he aims to do just that. So if you want some good historical shows and some good historical conversation with the paranormal, he's the man to talk to. Haunting Travels says, yay, yay, we love Jay. So without further ado, let's bring out JD Hill.
Hey.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Hot. It was about 95 degrees down here today.
Yeah, it was pretty warm where I'm at too. So,
where are you?
Right outside of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Okay, you're a lot further north than I am. I'm down here in southeast Arkansas.
Oh yeah, no, I'm in the northern parts of the country. So
y'all not used to heat like that because it was what almost 90 there, wasn't it?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, I had to mow the lawn today in 85-degree weather. So, That was fun.
Yes, it was fun down here because it was about 95 degrees and about 80% humidity.
Wow.
So you go outside in 5 minutes, your shirt is stuck to your back.
Pretty much. Yep, pretty much.
But Jay, to start off with, I said a little bit about you in your bio there. Could you tell us exactly where to find you? Yeah, I'm assuming you got a Facebook page and some websites. Just go ahead and talk about that.
You can find me on anywhere like Instagram under J Hill or J Paranormal on Instagram, or Studio 6 Media on Instagram, as well as TikTok. You can find me jd.hill on Facebook. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. But you do 4 shows a week, is that correct?
No, not a week. I kind of spread them out.
Okay.
Yeah. I it's just whatever guest that wants to come on the show or that I ask, and then I kind of pick the latest one that I have is called Unscripted from Real to Real. And it kind of is all encompassing people behind the camera, in front of the camera, talking about music to work to whatever. You know what I mean? So
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, you cover music on that. What do you cover on the other shows?
Well, I have two music podcasts. One's for heavy metal. It's called Metal Freedom. And the other one is it's a record store lounge. It talks about all kinds of different types of music. Nothing in particular. So yeah, I'm busy.
Yes, you are busy. What kind of background do you have with music since you do the shows on
I
music?
used to play guitar. I used to sing in a band way back when I was younger, and tried to make it as a musician, and it didn't quite work out that way, so I kind of gave it up. But I was able to see a lot of different shows, a lot of different bands, meet a lot of different bands, and just I just love music, you know. I'm more into now. I listen to everything, but as in the last 10 years, I'm more into Sinatra and crooners music and 1940s and 50s type stuff. So Las Vegas music, so jazz.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you kind of like the music I was playing with the video with the Paracon.
Yeah, I was grooving on that. That was all right.
Yeah, I picked that out. It was just some jazz pieces that I found.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, jazz music is just one of those things where it's just doesn't matter what kind of mood I'm in. Jazz always seems to kind of slide right in and fit.
You ever been down to New Orleans?
No. Farthest I ever been is Arkansas.
Which part of Arkansas were you in?
The other side of Branson.
Okay.
Yep.
That's getting close to Eureka Springs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because Eureka Springs is not too far from the border with Missouri.
Right. Yep.
You also got Pea Ridge Battlefield right there in the corner with Oklahoma. You ever been there? That's on my bucket list to get it. Of course, it's slammed across the state diagonally from me.
Right. No, I've been the farthest south I've been is Arkansas, and Kentucky is the other. I went to Waverly, so.
I was born and raised in Georgia.
Okay.
Lived in Chicago for 14 and a half years, and now I'm living in Southeast Arkansas.
Where in Chicago did you live?
On the south side.
Okay.
You know where Marquette Park is?
Yeah.
I live right across.
Yeah, I'm
from
only an
Marquette
hour. I got an hour north of Chicago, so yeah.
Park. Okay. If you
Yeah.
know where Marquette Park is, in Holy Cross Hospital, I was
Mhm.
only a couple of blocks, right across the street from Marquette Park, and about a couple of blocks from Holy Cross Hospital,
Right on.
which is on California, the side of the park.
Right.
So, yeah, I lived there for 14 years. It gets hot there plenty, but not as long as down
Right.
here.
Right.
What do you normally cover? You cover paranormal guests, or you said anybody you've asked, or
It's doesn't really matter. I mean, it's paranormal, it's mediums, it's spiritualism, it's it just depends. I've interviewed, I've been doing this for going on 5 years, so I've interviewed everybody from mediums to musicians to TV personality type things. Yeah, just it's whatever. So
well, apparently you got a friend in Haunting Travels. They seem to be a fan.
yes, I was on her show and she was on mine. So yeah, she's awesome. So
Okay, and I wasn't kidding when I said I might. Since she will be in the New Orleans Paracon, I was seriously going to ask her after the show if she wants to appear on this show.
She's a great guest. Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, I guess she's got to go.
Yep.
So good night.
Yeah.
I can understand. Maybe this is a little late, especially for people on the East Coast.
Right.
Here in Central Time Zone, it's not so late, but you're over there, and it's an hour earlier. Excuse me, an hour later over there on the East Coast. I can imagine if she's on the East Coast, I don't blame her.
Right.
But well, have you made it any interesting Paracons the last few months or year?
What was the last one I went to? I went to Broadhead last year, I think it was.
Okay.
Broadhead Manor. A couple years before that, I went to Spirits in the Spring, and I don't travel as much as I'd like to, but it's just we don't have a lot of Paracons around where I live.
Right.
We kind of do, but yeah, it's hard for me to travel long distance. I mean, the last one I did was I went to Waverly Hills in Kentucky, and that was a 6.5 hour drive from my house, and I was suffering through that.
Yeah, you may have heard me talking earlier that it's only 6.5 hours from where I'm sitting to Bourbon Street.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go halfway and drive about 2.5 hours to Pittsburgh, spend a couple of nights in Pittsburgh,
right,
and tour a cemetery and look at the ironclad there. Maybe do a little ghost hunting, and then we're going to get up Monday morning and head down to New Orleans, which from there should be about a 3-hour drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Changing it, like taking a break between. I mean, I think the last trip I took, one of the last ones that was super long was an 18-hour drive all the way to, or 16-hour all the way to the mountains in Colorado. And that one, I mean, I was a passenger. My wife was driving because my wife likes to drive. So I said, go right ahead. And yeah, it's rough driving that far. Yeah. I'm not 20 anymore. So
no,
I just can't hop in a car and take a 20-hour trip and feel good about it. So
yeah, the drive, I was almost 25 years younger than I am now when I moved to Chicago. And that was 13 hours. on the road from
Mhm.
where I live. And I didn't get much sleep the night before. And they had a get together. Of course, this is right on the Georgia Alabama border. So we actually went across the river to Alabama to a Waffle House
Mhm.
for a goodbye party for me
Oh wow.
at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And then I hit the road from there for 13 hours to get to Chicago.
Damn.
At least I wasn't drunk. That's all.
Right?
Went to Waffle House sober, trying to get some sleep, at least some rest, and pulled up with a bunch of friends, and then just had a just a goodbye there because pretty well everybody figured I was not going to get back down to that area.
Mhm.
If I did ever, if I ever did, it would be years, and it's been over 25 years now, and I still have not gotten into that area of the woods.
Wow.
Because home then was Chicago, and home now is here in Arkansas, and home is where the heart is, and right now
Yep.
home is in Arkansas.
Well, as long as you like it and you enjoy the surroundings and the people, and that's all that matters.
Well, the people aren't that great. But I live here outside of a town of 2,200 people.
Okay.
So I don't there's not many people here.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are around here, we don't speak all that much together because I'm on a 2-acre lot, and the guy behind me is on a 2-acre lot. So 4 acres, we have 2 houses.
Oh, wow.
And then the neighbor next door to us, his father and grandfather, the two of them split a 4-acre lot. So it's the same deal, 4 acres, 2 houses. Guy across the road lives on about 2 acres. He just lives there with his wife. And that's my immediate neighbors.
That's cool.
We have to do some screaming to contact each other from our front porch.
I bet.
So that I'm kind of living in the country living.
Oh, I hear you.
So got out of Chicago and left a town with 3 million people that live in it to a state, Arkansas, which has 3 million people living in it. Major change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had there was within at least a half mile, maybe a quarter of a mile of us. If you draw a circle, there was easily the population of this whole county there from the house in Chicago.
That's
so
crazy.
That's one reason. 2 reasons we wanted to get out of there. One, we were living on a lot where you could literally hang out either side of your house, and the neighbor stuck his head out their house, and in windows are across from each other, you can literally shake hands.
Huh.
The yard was maybe 25 square feet. The front yard was half that. And the property taxes were about 26 back 10 years ago were $2,700 every 6 months. So now our property taxes a little bit on 2 acres is including the car now about $98 a year. People ask why are you living down there, and there's your answer.
I get it.
Fewer neighbors, fewer taxes.
Yep.
I'll be 70 years old in a couple of weeks, the 3rd of July.
No.
I don't need the nightlife in Chicago anymore.
Right.
And the wife is 6 years younger than me. She She doesn't need the nightlife in Chicago anymore. She used to work at Northwestern.
Mm.
Yeah, she was born and raised there. She graduated University of Chicago.
That's cool.
Yeah. About the same kind of story. Do you live in a metro area or country or?
Well, if you lived in Chicago, you know where Lake Geneva is.
For who?
Lake Geneva is.
Lake Geneva, yes.
Okay. I live 5 minutes south of Lake Geneva.
5 minutes less south.
Yeah.
Wow.
Between Lake Geneva and Genoa City.
Okay. So you can go to Lake Geneva anytime you want to.
Pretty much. Yeah.
No,
I was born in Lake Geneva.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you're still living basically at home.
Kinda, sorta. Yeah. I moved back 2012. I left when I was 3, and then I moved around, and then I moved back in high school, and then I moved away 93, and then came back in 2012. Where I met my wife who I went to high school with, and we got married, and I've been married since 2014, and yeah.
Oh wow. We got married in 2001.
Oh wow.
So this November will be 25 years of marriage.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. First time around for her, second time around for me.
This is my third time around.
Well, I hope it works out for you.
The only way it's not going to work is if I exit in a pine box. So,
well, I wish you luck, and I hope your dreams come true, and third time's a charm.
Or 3 strikes you're out.
Well, you said
whichever you want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if you're getting out,
whichever you look at it.
If you're getting out in a pine blocks, your third strike could be the out.
All right.
Especially if she puts you in the pine box.
That's what she said.
My wife's a former power lifter. I live in fear of that. She's probably in the next room watching TV, smirking right now. Mm-hmm. Probably saying yes. Oh man! Of course, everybody knows a little bit of our marriage history now.
Yeah.
So what else did you want to talk about tonight? Something you got anything big coming up? You sound like you should write a book.
Oh, I'm working on it. Trust me. Yeah. That's just slow and going, but it's going. So, no, I have an event coming up in July that I'm a guest medium for a death metal band called Casket Robbery that is going to be in Broadhead Manor in Broadhead, Wisconsin for a paranormal investigation. So I got that going on, and then I'm just working on trying to raise funds for my campaign for my documentary and film company to get my filming going, equipment, stuff like that. And yeah, I've just been doing a bunch of different other podcast shows with guests. I've been, like I am now, a guest on another show coming up. Yeah, I've kind of been busy.
If people want to donate to your cause here, where can they do that? Where can they do that?
The link is on my personal page, is on jd.hill. The link is I pinned it on my link. So all you do is you click on that, and it'll take you straight to my page where I'm trying to raise funds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I wish you luck with that. And anybody willing to further J.D. Hill in his endeavors to do his productions, please
Right.
donate.
hmm Yeah, I'm working
And
on the project right now. That's it's focused on Gettysburg, and
okay,
the project's called Whispers in the Wheat, and yeah, so it's going to
what
be
mhm. What you said? Whispers in the weeks.
in the wheat.
Wheat. Okay.
hmm Yeah,
What are you doing with that?
that is where that's the beginning of my first project that I'm hoping to get going with this film company and with raising funds for this for my company so that I can be able to do that and make this
Okay.
documentary. And I've got some different leads on some different places around Gettysburg and some untold stories that I want to work on. And, yep. So
But primarily about Gettysburg.
yeah, the initial project is I want to do it in Gettysburg, but I've got to kind of
Okay.
crawl before I can run, so to speak.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm raising money for this this company, this filming company, because it's going to be something that I'm hopefully going to be able to do other documentaries and whatnot. But I need to get my footing and get a solid foundation so that I can pay for the fees for the LLC and the whole 9 yards and the equipment and the travel expense and all that stuff. And so
Okay. So it says in your bio that you like to cross up the paranormal and the history, which I found myself having to do.
right.
Because you got to know your history to do the paranormal, or you don't really know what to do it.
Right. I do it in a way where, because I'm a psychic medium, a lot of places that I go to do investigations, and I make sure that nobody tells me anything. That I want it to all be a surprise. I want to discover it on my own, and so that's how I'm able to get that validation for different things that people didn't find or couldn't find, and then later after validation, they understand that, oh, that was there, or that story was there, or that person was there, and so it makes history a lot more interesting if I can get that psychically in a way where I know in my heart that there's a person there that they had this story to tell, and this is what happened at this location, and nobody else knows it. And if I have a researcher or somebody researches and says, yeah, that actually did happen, that information was just buried and it hasn't been told. That's the kind of documentary stuff I want to do. I want to be able to find the stuff that people didn't take the time to look for.
Right.
So that's what I want to do. I want to be able to, and when I say that I want those untold stories to be told, that's part of how I want to do it. So,
well, like I say, I wish you every luck doing this because it sounds very interesting.
mm-hmm. Oh, there are some stories around Gettysburg that nobody really knows.
Yes.
And I know that I can uncover them and be able to shed some light on some of those stories. It just takes, in order to create this stuff, I have to raise the funds to do it. I just can't do it out of my pocket. It's maybe I trying to overshoot my mark, or maybe I'm dreaming big, but I live by the motto is go big or go home.
Yeah.
So
aim for the stars.
Yeah.
You ever just discuss anything with Dale Kazmarek?
No.
They're out of Chicago.
Mm-mm.
He has visited Gettysburg so many times.
Mm-hmm.
He could almost be a tour guide there.
Right.
And when you go on there, you go a lot during the day with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he stands over there where Pickett's charge was and tells the whole story Pickett's charge. So the common stories, he's got them almost memorized.
All right.
But see, you're approaching it as the unknown stories, and probably some stuff he doesn't know about. Is what you're digging for.
Right. And a lot of them they're about the war and about soldiers and about the families. You know, there's so many different soldiers that fought in the Civil War, especially in Gettysburg. Right. And I have ancestral ties to a second great uncle that was a captain in the Confederacy.
Oh,
so okay. I have that connection already. You know what I mean? So I have this love and interest in Gettysburg. Always loved it. Always was fascinated by it. Not so much that I was fascinated by the war itself, but what came out of the war, the positive things that came out. How some of the tragic things that happened there turned into positive things. You know what I mean? So I know there's stories out there, and I aim to find them.
There's a lot of stories out there. My father's great, I don't know exactly how many times grandfather was a private in the Confederate Army, and he was involved in the largest land battle in Florida.
Oh, wow.
So I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm from Columbus, Georgia. That's where I was. When I was talking about the Waffle House, I was talking about the one in Phoenix City, Alabama. It used to be Girard, which used to be one of the gambling capitals of the South.
Mm-hmm.
You can go down. If the Chattahoochee River dried up, you'd see gambling machines down in the bottom. All kind of slot metal, the metal left from slot machines, because they had a guy that was trying to clean up the county, and he was shot on the steps of the courthouse as he was going in to testify.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And of course, the governor heard about it and sent in the National Guard along with state troopers, and they cleaned the place out, and they just dumped all the gambling stuff for paraphernalia in the river. And they changed the name from Girard, Alabama, to Phoenix. You know, Phoenix rising from the plains. Yeah. And then misspelled Phoenix. So the spelling is different from Phoenix, Arizona, because funny. They misspelled it when they filed for a name for the city.
Oh, jeez.
Of course, there's history there. There were two vessels, riverboats, one partially armored. The other one was a full bore ironclad. That was built there. And they now have them in the Confederate Naval Museum there in Columbus. And it's quite a bit haunted. I've seen a full-bodied apparition inside that museum.
Right.
Got a convention center there that was built in the old ironworks, which was the second largest supplier of arms to the Confederacy outside of Richmond.
Wow.
That's cool. It's now a convention center. And
yeah, there's some great museums over there on the East Coast, especially around Gettysburg and whatnot. So.
Oh, yes. What's the name of the house there where the lady got shot?
Jenny Wade House.
Okay, I'm not the expert. I will probably never get to Gettysburg. I would love to get there, but at my age, travel there is like you're talking about.
Yeah,
getting restricted.
Yeah,
and we're doing some work on the house, and the money's not there, and the trouble of flying, I would have to fly out of Little Rock, which means probably going to Dallas and then flying into Pittsburgh or something, and then renting a car there to go to Gettysburg. And I'm getting to the age where now I don't need to be doing that.
I have friends in in and around Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm.
So if I need a ride somewhere, I don't have to worry about that.
There you go.
I mean,
there you go.
I've got
So you have a
I've got
huge
some
advantage
people,
over me.
yeah, that I would fly in, and I know some people that said that they would pick me up from the airport and whatnot, and they would take me around, and these are the people that when I get there, I want to be able to, do some research myself and I want to do a psychic walkthrough of Gettysburg. You know what I mean? I want to be able to pick up everything and anything I possibly could, document it all, write it down, and then, kind of just that'll be my book. And my book for the information that I need to start my documentary for. And that's where I want to be able to start. And I know I have a couple other people that have already said that they would help me do that. So
cool.
Yeah.
Now, when you want to, let's say, we're talking Gettysburg. If you go to Gettysburg and you want to pick up and do research for your book, just like you just talked about, how do you prepare your mind to do that?
I just let it come naturally. I don't have to really prepare myself. Information that I get I get when I do walkthroughs for different places, it flows into me naturally. I don't have to try to do anything. It just happens. You know what I mean? So I just if I don't get anything, I don't get anything. It doesn't always happen that way, but the majority of the time it does. I usually get information or whatnot, and I know that when I walk in, when the time comes where I do walk down the main street of Gettysburg, I will be flooded with information, but I will have prepared myself in a way where I can receive that information accordingly. You know what I mean? I do my own meditations. I do my own type thing. You know what I mean? Guard myself, protect myself spiritually and all that. But let's put it this way. Spirits that I have connected with in Gettysburg from afar have all said and begged me to come down there because they've got things to tell. And I know that. I've dreamt of them. I've seen them in that sense. It's just, a lot of people would say that it's, when some people say, well, it's kind of like, sounds like the gift is a curse. And it's not. It's a new way, or it's a different way of adapting to reality. I've been that way my whole life. Or this way my whole life. I've always been, but I haven't been actively leaving that door open for myself to be that way. I've always either used drugs or alcohol or whatever to kind of run away from it, because I just would rather be in the party than be in the present, if you know what I mean. So I had to get out of the party and start putting myself in the present. And so that's what I did. And then it makes things a lot easier once your brain's clear. And my brain has been cleared for a while. You know what I mean? It's been 13 years. So I've even had a drink of alcohol,
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I take pride in myself for that. But I would rather be of sober mind and be able to, connect with the spiritual realm in that sense, when somebody or a spirit or whatever has something to tell me that I could pass on, that could influence somebody else in that way. I used to do psychic readings. I used to do gallery readings and all that. I just kind of got out of that a little bit because I wanted it to be a little bit more personal for me to be able to express something about history. And that's where it kind of lies. My history, my love of history is basically just trying to connect with the past. And that's why I said it's the shadows of history. There's so much behind it that I want to be able to express and to find out and to uncover. so to speak. So yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of the gifts that I have it's just a natural thing for me. I'm able to connect with a lot of different. I can read people. I can, it's just, and I'm not saying I'm all that by any means. It's just that's just who I am. I'm confident in myself that I know who I am. You know what I mean?
Do you do readings with other people, or do you kind of
I used to. I used to, in that sense. I used to do readings on social media and all that, and I didn't. I felt like spirit was kind of like telling me that that's not quite where I needed to be, and so that's why I wanted to go through that door, stepping back into history, and find people there that had stories, and that's what I wanted to be able to connect with. Instead of connecting with the living in that sense, you want to be giving readings and helping people. I kind of shifted my focus. Like I said, I wanted to step through that door of the past. I wanted to be able to tell people stories who have passed. I wanted to be able to uncover things that people some of the living could benefit from. I want somebody to watch something on TV that's a documentary that I made, and have somebody, after they get done watching it, say they felt moved by it. You know what I mean? And I'm out to help people too. I mean, that's just my whole. I love helping people. I love influencing people in a positive way instead of, I'm not a gossiper. I don't like to tear people down. I'm a supporter. That's just who I am.
I've always thought that's the best way to be.
Yeah. Most
definitely. If you support other people will support you.
Right. Yep. I've seen it on both ends. So.
Oh yes. I saw a guy from the Chicago area, not in Chicago, just the area. And I thought he was a pretty good paranormal investigator. And all of a sudden he started screaming about these locations were not haunted. And locations that he said they're just stealing people's money. And just
now that's not necessarily not true.
Right. But he didn't get any results. And he went on.
No, I got what you're saying.
Talk bad about him.
Right.
Just went totally negative.
Right. And you and I both know that spirits don't act on command like that.
No, they're not circus animals.
Right. And depending on the frequency of whatever's in that location at that time, at that minute, whatever, because the frequency changes. And that's what spiritual communication, spiritual, trying to speak to spirits and whatnot. If the frequency isn't there for them to be able to do that, it's not going to happen. Doesn't mean there isn't anything there. It just means that the elements weren't favorable. The
window wasn't open.
Just because somebody says it's haunted, and every time that 10 people have been there, for 10 days, and then all of a sudden the one day it doesn't work and they automatically think that it's not haunted, doesn't mean it's not haunted. It just meant the elements weren't favorable for that to be active. I've ran into places where I know very much and had experience that were haunted places. I would go in there later on and I would get nothing. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that it's not, but yeah, that's a skeptic's purview. You know what I mean? That's a person who is automatically a skeptic. And just because you didn't get anything doesn't mean it's not haunted. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's somebody with more of a skeptical mind than a true believer, I think.
Right. You may have a point there with him. I've been to Baxter's Grove Cemetery, supposedly one of the most haunted cemeteries, especially of a 1 acre size.
I've never been there, and I know it's haunted.
Yeah, it's haunted.
Yeah, I've never been there, and I've seen pictures of it, and I've read pictures of it, and I know that it is.
You saw a couple pictures of Bachelor's Grove in my intro.
Yeah.
Couple of cool-looking pictures. I've also been there where I got nothing.
Right.
I didn't see anything going on, didn't feel anything going on, and didn't pick up anything, vocally with any kind of equipment that I used. So I just said, today's not the day. And I've said many times that if I actually got responses and got some kind of evidence, if you want to call it that, some kind of paranormal experience, if I did that every time I turned on a piece of equipment, I would wonder about my equipment and worry about my methods.
Right.
Because there's no way you can go 100% every time you turn on a piece of equipment, you're going to find something, see something, or feel something. No way.
Right.
You got to have some null readings to say, okay, maybe I do have something.
Right.
And that's just the way I feel about it. Yeah, those places that Litriana is going to be hosting a ghost hunt, the Voodoo House and the Andrew Jackson Hotel. I've got some interesting pictures of things appearing in windows at the Andrew Jackson when I know nobody was staying in that room. We had the whole hotel bought out. I actually talked to a spirit. I spent 2 nights in a room, and we had a spirit in that room that even Chris and Jennifer, who go there to the Andrew Jackson 3 and 4 times a week and have been for several years now with their tours. I contacted somebody overnight that they did not know about.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of rooms that are very haunted, I didn't get a whole lot in that room. So that's where I'm fully agreeing with what you were saying about, it's just not there. Something, the frequencies are just not working. It's just not your night.
Right. Yeah. It's not, it's like going into a town that that is going to be like, the weather it's going to be really stormy all the time and this and that, you know what I mean? There's going to be a day where it's going to be sunny and you're not going to, it's just, the elements aren't always there, I mean, it's just, yeah.
Well, I perfectly understand the weather. Arkansas is having a typical, finally, after having a drought for about 6 months this summer.
Yeah.
I mean, this winter. Had a very dry winter down here. We're finally getting some rain over the last 3 weeks. Today was supposed to be, everybody said we stand a good chance of rain in this area. And definitely in other parts of the state were supposed to get rain. It ended up, nobody got any rain. And with clear skies here and the sun baking down on our heads.
Right.
So even the experts who are, how many years you got to go to school to be a meteorologist, just totally missed it with the rain today.
Right. Don't get me started on meteorologists.
But it's the same thing with paranormal investigators.
That's a good analogy.
Right. Sometimes
that's a good analogy. Right. They say, oh, yeah, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. And then the storm goes completely south or it doesn't materialize. That's a great analogy, actually. You should liken meteorologists to spirits in a haunted locations. Sometimes it shows up, sometimes they don't.
And sometimes they show themselves where you can actually see it. Sometimes it's just a feeling.
Right. That's a pretty good analogy. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Sometimes weather people miss it. Sometimes paranormal people miss it.
Right.
In New Orleans, you're going to find spirits about 90% of the time. But even occasionally, Chris, talking to Chris Talley, who's doing the New Orleans Paracon, he said a couple of times he's gone into these places and got next to nothing. The first time I was behind the voodoo shop, it's old slave quarters, by the way. This is several years ago. I was up there with one other guy, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he does have a YouTube channel now dealing with history. He kind of got out of the paranormal and went straight into the history. I mean, he has discussions about, like you were talking about, the ramifications of the Civil War and what went on after it.
Right.
He's had some very interesting discussion. Anu Shun, I believe is his name. I said I wasn't going to say his name because I struggle with the correct pronunciation, but it was he and I in that place by ourselves. And footsteps started right in front of us. And he and I kind of looked around. I was going to make sure there was nobody hiding in the room. So I kind of looked around, and there was a couch there we could sit on. So I sat down, started kind of opening myself up, had some equipment on, and there was a woman in high heels, and that's a unique sound. Started right in front of us, walking away from us. And the rest of the evening, I didn't get a whole lot of anything else.
Right.
But right there, we've been up there. It took me 6-7 minutes to check out the room just to be sure nobody was there hiding. It was dark. I was having to roam around with my flashlight just to make sure nobody was standing around the corner, yanking my chain.
Right.
And I had those footsteps walking away, and I followed the footsteps. They quit making the noise as they walked into a wall. And that was weird because it wasn't me or him. He was sitting there right there beside me. The noise wasn't coming from his direction. There's no way he could affect it. But the rest of the night, I pretty well got nothing. It was like the spirits with the footsteps walked away from me and said, "Okay, we're done for the evening."
That's usually how it goes. Yeah.
But then again,
look at these fools sitting in this room. We'll make a few noises and then make them chase their tails. Yeah, and that's usually what happens.
We'll just leave them here by themselves in this room. Let them talk to the walls the rest of the night.
Yeah. Don't ever doubt that spirits have a sense of humor, because I've seen a couple that do.
They do. One example. I was in the same building, except when I heard the footsteps, I was upstairs, the second floor. And this is the room where Lee and the other people I'm talking about will be doing behind the voodoo shop in an old slaves' quarters. These buildings were built back in the 1700s. So they've got some age on them, and they've got some spirits walking around. I was there on a tour. The girl running the tour took people where I was sitting with Anul upstairs. And I was sitting downstairs. She let me basically take over downstairs. I was surrounded by about 12 people. I got the main spirit who still is there. He died of a drug overdose in Chicago. So he kind of identifies with me, having lived in Chicago for 14 years. I found that kind of helps. If a spirit can kind of knows where you're coming from and may have something in common, you get better results. And he'd been living in Chicago for a while and died in Chicago. So he doesn't mind talking to me. And he and I were having a conversation. The girl from upstairs, they wasn't getting anything at all up there, came downstairs, and she said, "Oh, I haven't heard your voice in so long. How have you been? How come you haven't spoken to me lately?" And the male spirit said, "Because you talk too much." And of course, this is in front of about 20 people besides me and her.
That's funny.
Oh, it was hilarious. I almost fell off the couch I was sitting on, and so did everybody else. But it makes your point of what you said. Some spirits they have personalities just like they did when they were living.
Yeah.
and sometimes they will cut up, and they were cutting up on her. We're trying to get him to admit. Chris has been working on it, and every time I go there, I work on a little bit. And at the New Orleans Paracon, I will probably bring up the question. How I know he died by drug overdose. I want to ask him. Okay, we gotta close that pretty quick. But if his drug overdose was on purpose from him, a suicide, or an accident,
it was an accident.
You think so?
Yeah. That's what I heard. Just accidents. Yeah, I thought it was an accident. Wasn't intentional.
So you felt that?
No, he seemed like he had a personality that. Yep. He had a personality that was. Yeah, he didn't fit that personality of somebody that would take his life. It was an accident.
No. Or the only other option was if somebody gave him an overdose and he just went ahead and took it, and with somebody else knowing it was an OD.
No, it was just an accident.
That's kind of my thinking too. Of course, I would like to get him to say that. This was an accident. Like I say, he does have a personality, obviously.
Right.
But that girl can't get in there anymore. The people who run the voodoo shop basically kicked her out. She pulled something they didn't like, and they turned it over to Christopher and Jennifer Talley, and now they do the tours there.
Nice.
That's what I was talking about, where they go there at least 3, sometimes 4 days a week into there with tours, and you can somebody can go down there and get a tour from them, and there you go. You're talking to this gentleman. He speaks to me. I'm sure he will speak to Letriana because she has her own psychic abilities, so it should be a real interesting night. And it's funny you picked that up. I don't claim to be a psychic or anything, but I can kind of know what you're talking about when you're talking about abilities and talking with them. You're one of these. How do you ground yourself?
Oh, I ground myself a couple times a day.
How do you do that?
It's just a short meditative state, or I have a grounding pad that I usually adhere to every day, or I'll go out in my front yard and take my shoes off and stand there for a couple of minutes.
I've heard some people need to walk barefoot.
Right. Yeah. And plus the fact that we have copper wires that are grounded and that go into our house, so our floors are always grounded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's what kind of grounds me. I'm barefoot currently.
Yeah.
All I'm wearing a t-shirt, a pair of house shorts, and walking around barefoot. Now I think that's how I end up grounding myself. I just walk around the house barefoot. And a guy that built this house worked for the local electric company. He wasn't much of a carpenter. Nothing. No, the windows and doors are not square, but the electrical is done upright. We're going to about 9:45 max tonight, and we got about 4 minutes.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to tell people? Mainly, just go to your websites again, where people get in touch with you, listen to you, and donate to you. Okay.
So you can donate to my campaign. It's on Fundraiser, which is RAZER, and it's on my page, my JD.Hill Facebook page. It's pinned on the top. You just click on that. It'll take you straight to it. I have pages on Instagram, Studio 6 Media, J Paranormal, and Paranormal Diner. I forgot, which is my other podcast. I have my own Instagram for that. And then there's Studio 6 Media for TikTok. And then, of course, YouTube is Studio 6 Media.
All right.
So,
I appreciate you being on the show tonight.
no, thanks for having me.
It's been fun. It's been interesting.
Yeah,
And
I would agree.
There's something to you when you get the feeling, and you just said it about the spirit down in New Orleans, that it was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Because Chris and I have tried, and we haven't really got that out of him yet.
Just tell him when you talk to him next. Just call him by his name and just say, "Hey, the gig is up. We know the truth," and he'll probably laugh.
Okay. So if anybody wants to go on that tour, the Ghost Hunt is still available. Tickets are still available to be with Lutriana and myself, and it will be broadcast live. So if I indeed do that, what you're saying, it will be live on Facebook and YouTube.
Well, there you go.
That's kind of hanging out there when you're trying to talk to a ghost on a live show.
Oh, I've done that before. I've had live activity on a show. I did my first podcast in a haunted boutique hotel that was built in 1865.
Okay.
So yeah, that was. So yeah, they mess with my equipment a lot. They like would kind of disconnect me and mess with my Wi-Fi and all that stuff, and yeah. So, yep.
All right. Well, like I said, I really appreciate you being on there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to talk some more, you can invite me into your show.
Sure.
I'm retired. I have most nights available.
Okay.
Except Thursday night, obviously, I do my own show, but
right.
Most of the nights I am available. So I'm there.
All right.
Anytime you want to ask.
I'll look at my schedule and I'll have to, get back to you.
All right. You know Greg Collis?
No.
Okay, look up Greg Collis sometimes.
Okay.
He does several shows a week.
Okay.
He lives up just outside Chicago.
Okay.
So it's kind of in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And he's been in the paranormal a long time. He and I have ghost hunted together back in Chicago. Nice. And we're still friends. I appear on his show sometimes. He appears on mine. He's a great guy. And he likes to do the Estes method.
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with that, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
He likes to do that. He does it live.
Yeah.
Pretty often.
Yeah.
So he'd be another interesting guest for you.
Okay.
So and he would probably immediately ask you to be on his show. He's older than I am. He's in his 70s.
Well, have to send me his information and I'll have to reach out to him. Okay.
What I'll do, I'll just send you his page link on Messenger. They're on Facebook.
Yeah.
And maybe y'all can get together.
Yeah.
All right. We said we were going to do it 9:45 to a max. Like I said, JD Hill, it's been fun.
Yes, it is.
And that was a quick hour 15 show.
Yep.
And thanks a lot.
Thank you.
If the producer is saying we need to get out of here at this time, probably not going to be any post-show chit-chat. I don't know. He can come in here and say if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Right now, I'd say there's probably not going to be that. I have not eaten supper yet. So
okay.
The belly's telling me to get off the computer and go put a plate in front of me.
Yeah, you better go do that.
All right. Well, thanks again, Jay. It's been nice getting to know you.
Yep.
And
thank you.
For everybody listening, you had two people here, didn't even know what each other looked like barely, except from pictures. And we kind of got to know each other. So here we are. I hope I've made a friend.
You did.
I'd be honored.
Thank you very much. Yeah, indeed.
And when you come out with the book or come out with your shows, please let me know, because we would love to promote you.
Yep, most definitely I will.
You'll be looking for shows to promote, and I'm there for you because that's what I love to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, you take care of yourself.
All right.
All right, we're on. I have not put the ending to the show. Go ahead and we did not play the bat video. Go ahead and play the bat video, please, producer. Hello, Stuart from Mars Hill, Maine. You just got here just in time to see the end of the show. Go ahead and play the bat video.
夜明けが迫り来る招かさる感情真空の逆流に私は酔いしれた
Guns out, fangs out, see you, Noah.
心臓から
Well, just go ahead, producer, and play the purple show, and let's close the door on this show right now. The purple one. There we go. Thanks for watching, everybody.